name's Travis Lupik, and I'm a reporter with the Georgia Straight newspaper. This week, we wrote about the Vancouver Aquarium, which is a facility in Stanley Park. It's been a popular site in Vancouver for many decades, and it does a lot of good work. It does research and education, and it rescues animals from the wild that are injured. But one thing that it does that not everybody, some scientists think is not so great, is it holds cetaceans in captivity. Cetaceans is a classification of marine mammal that includes beluga whales and dolphins. And the Vancouver Aquarium holds 2 dolphins and 2 beluga whales, and is currently undergoing a $100 million expansion, which they will use to increase the space they have and bring in more beluga whales, possibly more dolphins as well. And that has a lot of scientists and conservationists concerned, because they argue that these mammals should not be in captivity anymore. They focus on whales and dolphins because the research shows that these are very intelligent species and very emotionally complex species which do not do well in captivity. I spoke to, I think, more than 30 scientists and more than 40 people for this story, and the consensus that I saw emerged is that marine mammals in captivity do not live very long, sometimes in general as short as half the lifespans of those in the wild, and that infant mortality rates are also very high, that whales and dolphins that give birth in captivity can stand a good chance of losing their babies. And these are things that scientists point to and say are reasons that these animals should not be kept in facilities like the Vancouver Aquarium anymore. There's also psychological components, again with their intelligence and emotional complexity. Some scientists and activists I spoke to said that holding these marine mammals in captivity is the equivalent of holding human beings in solitary confinement, which can have poor psychological implications for people. So the scientists argue that it's 2014, that it's time to let these animals go, that the Vancouver Aquarium should not be doing this anymore. And one of the reasons that they've brought it up now is because there are civic elections in Vancouver in November, and because the Vancouver Aquarium is a charity that sits on public land in Stanley Park, the public can actually have a say in what happens there. So the people I spoke to said that 2014 is the year that people should speak up, contact the park board, and really become more aware of the animals that the aquarium holds, and ask whether or not that practice of holding whales and dolphins should be ended. The aquarium did not speak to us for this story, which is unfortunate. We gave them many opportunities, and when we cover this issue in the future, we hope they will speak to us. And as it gets closer to November in the civic elections, we hope that we will cover this story again. Travis Lupik for the Georgia Straight.